What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today with another video about Cryonaia, our newest Hypergen hero that is now live on the Pioneer server and on the 20th going to be released on the global version. And we yesterday already did a little bit of a first look, a little bit of PvP fights, and got a pretty good idea of her being pretty powerful in this PvP game mode. Testing in AFK stages, that took a little bit more time, but I went ahead and I pushed a fair bit into AFK progress on the Pioneer server at 1049. Not super impressive, but keep in mind we are under-leveled here. For some reason they set us at a lower level, so we are at 649 level, and that brings us to a difference in level of, what do we have here, 116. So 116 is fairly good. That means if you look at the AFK efficiency cap, where we have like the cap for the limit, that is if you're like 2 days ahead. So fairly good level, I thought, to check out her skills. And well, she can do a ton of damage. That is something we already saw in PvP and stays true for AFK stages. Her main thing is this Frost Whale domain, which is her ult. And in the ult, she will summon the Eternal Domain of Winter. She traps 3 enemies in there, and they can run during her ult. They can move, they can attack, they can do anything during her ult. And what they will try to do is they will try to attack her, because she gains a huge shield, and if they get through the shield, her ult will end early. If they don't get through the shield, they will just, well, attack her, don't really do anything, and take a ton of damage. So that is the little gamble that we do here. The ult lasts for 12 seconds, which is a super long time. Usually the counter of the of our battle time would run throughout this ult, while our other heroes, and that is something you should note, can't attack during the ult. But with the Mythic Plus, and if you get the Mythic Plus to plus 15, you can stop the ult for 30 seconds, which with the 12 seconds ult duration here allows you 2.5 ults of stop time. Of time stopped. And maybe we just take a look at a fight here, because that is how it looks. It's one of the teams that I use that is a bit of a Fresto stall team, and that has worked overall fairly well. We charge the Rowan here with the overcharge spell, so he gets to an ult fairly quick, gives us energy then on the twins and on Cryonaia, and then we can start into the ult. You can see those 3 enemies, they can actually run, and what they will do is a little bit annoying in my opinion, because they will straight up run to her. Every other hero on the board just doesn't count as being there anymore during the time of her ult. With twins we get basically back-to-back ults, which is quite insane. But what this can lead to, and we saw this a little bit just here, is that they run past the Frestos and start attacking your supports. And this is very annoying when it happens. This is very annoying when it happens. Nonetheless, we get pretty huge damage here. We get pretty huge damage here. Keep in mind, we're at 80 seconds. We're 10 seconds into this fight. It doesn't look like it, but this is 10 seconds into the fight. Now 12 seconds. The timer here is still frozen. Should unfreeze though. I think this is our first ult. Yeah. You see it, the ult is still running now. It unfroze during the 3rd ult, because every ult 12 seconds. We had the first 2 run for 24 seconds, this one then again. And now you will see a little bit of, well, a problem that she can have. If she fights very tanky teams and her damage output is not sufficient, she will actually become the only one that really acts. She will do back-to-back ults in such a team, and the rest of the team doesn't get to do anything anymore. We don't get smoky heals, we don't get twin buffs, we don't get Rowan energy anymore once we start doing ults. This is often not a problem. It's often not a problem because, well, she's super tanky. Even against an Igor, she just didn't lose any life. The rest of our team can't lose any life. So we end up winning those battles based on her doing chain ults. And this is something that really often works. She gets a 60% attack buff, by the way. And this is why you also often see screenshots that look a little bit like this, where you have like super huge damage there, and you get nothing really from the rest of the team, because she parasitizes a little bit on them. Once she starts to chain ult, it is only her acting. And that is the thing. So, that was one example there. I also found some interesting teams that you can run in talent trials. I want to show you one insane bug actually there. Well, I don't know if it's a bug. It's not really a bug, it's more of a mechanic, let's say it like that. And it is certainly interesting though. If we go into that, I made a Lightbearer team. And this Lightbearer team is maybe meta? I'm not so sure, but it could be meta. And the way Lightbearer works, maybe to give you a little bit of a refresher there, in case you haven't watched the guide I made about. So by the way, I made a guide about action skills if you want to check this out. You get Hogan. And Hogan, the character from like the starter story, he will become an additional tank for your team. And there is quite an interesting mechanic with Cryonaia and Hogan that I want to show you. This is the first team that I want to show, where we have twins on the tile. And we will just watch the beginning of it. Hogan comes down over there. We will wait for the first Cryonaia ult. And there we go. Should activate in a second. We activated, all of our allies are gone, and we just attack the enemy. So far, so good. By the way, true damage on the enemies because of the Hogan charm. There is an upgraded version of this team though, and well, an upgraded version we shouldn't say. The version that you just saw, with Cryonaia on the Lightbearer tile, because this is a madness. Check this out. This actually fixes the problems of enemies running to your Cryonaia by quite an interesting measure, and might be one of the more powerful PvE strats. So we activate it, and you can see green HP bar on the Hogan. He is still in play, because apparently, and that is what Daddy the Grand from Analytica told me, it counts as part of Cryonaia. So we get to have a tank in our ult of Cryonaia. We have an additional hero right there, and this means enemies will oftentimes focus on this guy instead of even attacking Cryonaia. And this guy is super tanky because he gets healed by Cryonaia. So we heal our Hogan with Cryonaia and protect her at the same time with it, which makes Lightbearer tile the best tile that I've found so far for it. The heal that you see here is us healing Hogan. So this is fairly insane actually. In my opinion, one of the best strats that we have so far. You just have to quickly get to the ult. You have Hogan over here. No, that is Elijah. I don't want to show you Hogan. Where we convert part of the damage to true damage. We can buff that more. This is like the lowest grade of it. And we have Rowan for some energy feed. I used Luca in here for some tankiness. You can use Lucius or something. Twins you don't need for this lineup to work. Not at all. I just put them in here so that we get some fast ults at the beginning. But what you could also do is just like remove them and, for example, run Callan or something like that, because then you protect your team a little bit more. It's all possible. The most important thing here is we have 3 heroes over here, and we have Cryonaia and 3 Lightbearer heroes, of course. And that works out that we can try to get our ult in case this Sylvina doesn't murder us, which would be good. Oh no, she did. Okay, I mean, this can still happen in cases like this. Probably best to just switch over and do a little bit of a revised strategy so that we get rid of the mark there. So there we have Callan, for example. And in the end, this will still work. We get the stun there on the Hogan, which is quite annoying. We don't get the stun on the Cryonaia. And now we're back in our space. Now we have the Hogan over there, getting attacked by all the enemies. And we are there in the wonderful situation where we can just chain ult now and have our Hogan protect us. And there is Hemi. And Hemi, of course, stands no chance against Cryonaia. Already story-wise established. So insane, absolutely great strategy. Definitely recommend combining that. That is one thing that you can do. We, of course, had the other team that I showed before. This one actually also designed to be used with the talent tiles, because what you get here is you get the celestial talent tile, and this is quite interesting. You get the energy restoration, and this makes you able to get to ults pretty quickly. Look how fast the Rowan gets full energy. We already have the twin ult, Rowan ult on Cryonaia, 85 seconds, 5 seconds ult. So this is another strategy that you can do, and is fairly interesting, and bam, we get fairly easy clears here. So it's just that we experiment a little bit here. I personally think this has potential, is fairly cool. I like the Lightbearer strategy a little bit more. Because the Lightbearer strategy, just having this extra tank there that they attack is so nice, because your team is a little bit more tanky overall. But this works. This works. And then we have the last strategy that I want to show you. This is also a very consistent strategy that I used, not this one. Wait, formations. And then we have this one. And this is a little bit like the team that I showed before. We have splash charms on the Arden. We have the Hogan here with his true damage stuff. We have splash charms here, true damage charms there. What you can do, if you want to have a little bit more damage, is you can go something like this. Get the true damage on the Arden. We run overcharge just to get the ult faster on Cryonaia, and ends up looking like this. Invincible Cryonaia for the start, so there's nothing that really can happen to you. A little bit annoying with the Hogan here is, if she had one more range, I believe she would stand on the tile of Hogan. As it stands, she doesn't, which can be quite annoying. But you can see how insane this shield really is. She got back into the invincible mode there. So at that point, well, what can they really do? But yeah, that is the problem. That is the problem. When you come back out of the ult, you no longer have the shield, and the enemy stands right next to the Cryonaia. That can quickly cost you the Cryonaia, and that is something that the Lightbearer one fixes, and therefore I think that is pretty good. Is she the only way to clear those stages? Maybe we should talk about this as well. Is she the only way we could progress here? No, I think there are other options. I think solely with the focus on those AFK stages, getting Cryonaia because of that and because you want to make progress there, I think that is the wrong way to approach this. I think she's a very powerful hero to go forward and go through those stages and do them. She certainly has her downsides, as we established, has very nice synergy in this season. I think it is one part of her kit that is very appreciable. We saw the PvP stuff, we saw it doing well. There are very nice teams for AFK stages now. And so we have two areas already where she's great. Relentless Rumble, she will definitely also be great. For Dream Realm, and I have to make a video about this still, we haven't done so yet. I don't like her too much. I don't like her too much. To give you a short summary of that, I think she takes too much time. Like, we established that after in the third ult, this timer starts running again, and if she starts chain ulting, she's really the only hero acting, and that is oftentimes worse for boss damage than all heroes doing something and having like 5 active heroes. So yeah, this is something that I think is very good about her. The AFK stages I really like. I will run her with Lightbearer. I see the Celestial lineup as well. Honestly, all 3 lineups that I showed you are working and are working to sufficient degree for some distance in terms of level. So this is something I could put on auto run, and probably it would run for some time until we encounter something that is rather annoying. But I have left this on auto run, and it cleared so many stages. Probably will do the same for you, and I think, I mean, you can always push deeper into AFK stages now to get like some more rewards. If you just want to get to AFK efficiency maybe a few days ahead, she will do great for you. So I think she's fairly strong. I see myself using her on my main account for AFK stage pushing as well in one of the teams that I showed, especially the Lightbearer. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, then maybe leave a subscription to this channel. I will definitely, as I said, make another one on Dream Realm, and then we will go into the full review once she's released on the global server, and we can test everything on my account, because, well, the account that I play the most is, of course, my main account, and there I know the best what is strong and can put everything into a little bit of the perspective of like the other heroes that are there. But I'm definitely looking forward to that. So, wish you a great day. See us in the next one.